Good morning, everybody, and welcome to live. Pulling out 20 seconds on the OdivaZ reroute ride. Got Ufa on the team bus here. Morning, Ufa. Oh dear. So they're right on there, mate. Items out. Good morning, Katie. How are you doing, Owen? Yeah, I know, right? Here there's Sam. Hey, thanks, Mr. Delport. Here he's gone to get ready for his day. It's me now. And Ufa, of course. Well, looks like Ufa's doing his email.
I'm trying to make a comment. That's quite a name, Samuel Krynick, BWKCC, blah blah blah. It's 2 lines.
Howdy, gentlemen.
Hey up, Justin.
Oh, just
Joining here soon, just a little bit late.
No problem. You just didn't want to ride the sprint, did you?
You decided to ride outside and let Andy Jenner win with 20 seconds in your category?
Yeah. Yep. He paid me.
That way you're never going to operate.
Well, it's, so you know why I rode outside?
To test your knee or something?
I had no power. Like electricity.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
We're not talking about bike power. We know he
I
doesn't
saw
have a
you have a
shortage
ham
of
radio
that.
license. I have 2, or I think I have even 3 generators stuck up here under the table somewhere.
You just
I
sent
don't
one
run
to
out of
Justin.
power.
Wasn't long enough.
I thought the Tax Neo was self-powered.
Well, I'm actually no longer running the Taxi. I switched to the Ceres H3.
On behalf of Dutch industry, I regret that, of course, because it was a Dutch product you were running there.
Yeah, just if I was going to pay that much money, I didn't want to have any issues with it whatsoever. And the fact that I had an issue, I was like,
I can sympathize with that.
They're right on there, Katie.
finding riders. There we go. Boom. I'm in. Part of the cool kid club now.
The cool club in pink. We can get Justin's video in. Oh, before I do, Justin, are you wearing that really loud shirt again?
Yes and no.
Oh my!
It's the
Well,
it's the blue version of the same one.
so your leg isn't taped anymore, but it looks happy.
That was like a quantum mechanic kind of answer, that one.
Yeah, so for the power, I was Monday afternoon, just working on an important conference call for work, and poof, lights out. And I was like, crap. And of course I had a couple battery backups, but I didn't have a battery backup on the machine that I was working on. So it just went dead completely. I mean, it turned off, but.
So you have an oops for your Swift system, but for your work system, nothing.
Well, yes, technically that's true, but.
Good priorities.
Only because the Zwift system is really close to the center of the network, and I wanted to keep my network on UPS so I could use the network if things went down.
As long as you're
But
not
it
working
turns
on
out-
something important like a defense contract or something, it doesn't really matter. You're
Yeah.
probably in the financial world, or what do I know?
Oh man. What was I gonna say?
I can remember.
So it wasn't
global...
a power outage from the utility though. It was actually my main breaker who had gone bad.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say something about developed countries and power breaks, but I mean, if it's locally, they can't help it, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the 240 volt, 200 amp main breaker. And no, I was not pushing it past capacity.
Thanks for liking the stream, Charlie. You too, Michelle.
Welcome, Charlie.
Yeah, now that you say it, we used to have a lot of street level power breaks here, but I've not had any for the last 3 or 4 years, so we seem to have improved something here.
It was a little bit hard to find my exact model of breaker, but luckily the electrician my brother recommended came over within 30 minutes, identified that yes, like we basically opened up the breaker and we're moving the cables, and one of the lugs where the cable connects into the breaker would move side to side. You're like, that breaker is supposed to have 0 movement in it.
Yeah, 200 amps, it's not good when it moves too much now.
So he thinks what happens is when they installed solar in my house, like 5 or 7 years ago, maybe less than that, they over-tightened down the connector, and that had degraded it, and just over time with heat and cooling, it eventually went bad.
Oh, but cool, you managed to fix it yourself with your brother.
Well, I didn't dare replace that, actually. It was right next to my service meter. I had him replace it. I knew what needed to be done, but don't usually work with that big of power systems, and I'm like, you know what?
Over here, there's an authorization system, so you need authorization to deal with stuff like that. But as an electronics engineer, you can obtain an authorization, which I find quite scary because I know nothing about
right
power stuff.
There's a reason I didn't go into the power industry. I didn't want to work on things that could kill me.
No, I mean, burning
So you go biking instead and crash into trucks?
Exactly. Biking is so much safer. Shut up, Andy. Who do you know?
Well, so in the UK, I'm certified to isolate 11 kV. So.
Okay. So if they, to just replace the breaker, you didn't need like to get a permit or anything. But if he had replaced the box that housed the meter from the utility and this, then we would have had to coordinate a permit from the county, city, a shut off from the utility, him to do the work, inspection, all that.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't have to do that.
So when we got the power put back on the building that our repeaters are in, we had to get the city to inspect before they'd reinstate the power, even though nothing had changed.
Yep.
And oh, did they make a mess of that? There's 2 meters side by side, one for the city water stuff instrumentation, and one for the building that our repeater equipment's in. And despite giving them the correct meter, every time we told them that the power was isolated and we needed the power restoring, they said, well, the power's on. You can see the meter incrementing. No, it was a new meter. It was still at 0.
Yeah.
So eventually we got someone to come out, and I pointed at the meter and said, that one. And I knew exactly what was up. You know, just to the left of the meter, there's a little cover that was locked, and the breaker underneath it that was off. You just needed to switch that on.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then they messed the billing up. They sent us the bill for the city, which was something like $3,000.
No, thank you. So I learned. So I have like 2 sub panels in my house, and I kind of thought that they were done hierarchically, but it turns out they're essentially in parallel.
Yeah.
Because one of them is for the solar panels, and basically the solar panels need to tie back directly to the main power. So they like literally, like you have like these. The mains come off my main breaker, and then there's this device like attached to that cable that another cable comes off of, like a T, right underneath the main breaker. The main cables go to all the outlets in the house. The other one goes out to the solar panels, and I have a few AC units. Like 3 AC units in my house, just 3. That's all. Just a couple. Yeah. Oh. Maybe back behind the fence. Apparently I'm being naughty this morning.
I was up there with you. I'm just behind it now.
We raced this morning in the Makuri Islands, so that's quite nice. They have some nice rollers there to be punchy in.
So you guys are aware how much of a headache doing a team kit order is?
No, we have somebody doing it for us.
Well, yeah, you're welcome. So for this Johnson Elite team, you could have it shipped directly to your house, which I did for most of my order, but there was part of it that the team was covering, and that got shipped to a common place because they didn't have a way to like give credits to each individual order. So it was this beautiful mishmash of people who did or didn't want it shipped directly to them, and people who did or did not have something the team covered in a central place. And of course, nobody remembered their sizing because it was like 3 or 4 months later that we got it all. It all worked out. But I was part of the problem because I was like, yeah, did you get my size large? And they're like, we don't have a size large. I was like, oh, I better go double check my notes. Aha, it was a medium. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yes, exactly, Charlie. So they use Valet.
Well, at least it's a local team, so they can come and pick it up if it's a common place or one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. All the extra stuff goes to this main sponsor. That works. We would do that, but turns out I don't regularly go get braces. So I'm not usually at the orthodontics office. Happiest song of all time. Most lyrics in Spanish. Despacito.
Baby Shark in Spanish.
Macarena. Some of you already guessed Macarena.
Yeah.
Ketchup song. Podium teeth. Charlie.
Come on, the ketchup song is in my favorite list in Spotify.
I don't know that I'd have admitted to that if I were you, Ufa.
Yeah, I mean the mustard song maybe, but I don't know about the ketchup song.
Mr. Percy.
I remember when bringing my kid to the daycare that everybody, all the nurses or the caretakers there were dancing at the ketchup song. So it's only like 20 years old.
Born in the late 80s and know it quite well. I was born in the mid 80s and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, maybe it didn't make it in the States. I don't know. There's an English version of it as well, but not that you understand anything they sing anyways. It was crazy popular over here one summer.
Indeed. ACDC. Uh-oh.
How can you type a message saying I lost messaging? I don't get that.
Right? I had the same question.
There you go, Justin. Link to the ketchup song.
Oh no. Do I even
You like it? The video is nice. It's three sisters. They're quite good looking.
Yeah, and you even got a bouncing ball across the bottom of the screen with the words, so you can sing along.
Oh, karaoke style.
And is it you that I blame now for it being stuck in my head?
There's a dance that goes with it, so you have to learn this till next week.
No promises. Spanglish version.
It's going to be like a virus, Ufa. We're going to have it stuck in Justin's head next. And he's going to share it to a couple of people.
It's probably your first doing the ketchup dance on rollers. You're in the Guinness Book of Records or something.
There you go, I was just typing that.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Are you? The only question I really need to know, Andy, is: are you going to be doing the dance in a bikini? Is that part required?
I'll do it in Lycra.
I'm not here next week. I'm sure we're having a power fail next week this time.
Well, okay. I know what the ketchup song is, and I don't think I'll ever be able to have fries with ketchup again under the same circumstances.
Bad news for the Heinz company.
They're older than.
I'm super talking, don't tell the UCI.
So.
You just told the world that's watching the live stream though, Ufa.
Oh dear. I hope the UCI don't watch your live stream.
So I have a buddy somewhere in California, and he was just riding, doing the super tuck down a hill, and this car pulls up alongside him, rolls down the window, and says, "Hey, that position's banned." Well, Charlie, it's only banned if you're in a UCI sanctioned race. So I doubt you, like most USA cycling races, it won't apply. You could still do the super tuck and USA cycling races, just not UCI. They still pointed.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, they sanctioned 2 riders in the Tour de France yesterday for riding with their wrist on the handlebar.
Oh boy. I haven't seen yesterday's stage yet, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time today, but at least don't spoil it. I'll wait for social media to do that. Made the mistake of going on social media the day the American one. Had a hard time not seeing that.
Yeah.
Oh, American. Well, I guess I know who won today's stage. Another guy did the super tuck on a 2% downhill, Charlie. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Exactly. Oh boy. I mean, the fact that you didn't win. Oh.
But still, he's the guy we're talking about today, isn't it? The rest of the participants of that race is forgotten.
Oh.
At least in Europe, cycling is also about looking good. Nice, Charlie.
Oh, so I have a funny one. I think I might have told you guys about a race our team had done. It was a 100-mile race. What was interesting was there's this domestic professional team, Evolo, and they were having their training camp nearby, and they showed up with like 8 or 9 riders to this race. And a guy from Trek Segafredo on the World Tour, who's the current junior world champion. What's his name? The name escapes me. Anyway, they all signed up. Say what?
I think I know who you mean, the American.
Yeah. So they all show up to the race, and so everyone local's like, yeah, of course we're signing up for this. Like, it's gonna be legit. So the end of the result was 4 local guys got into a break like 10 miles into the race of a 100-mile race and stayed away. And they finished the 100 miles in I think it was under 340, like 27 or 28 mile an hour average, something stupid like that. And the funny part was that domestic team, Evolo, like yesterday, uploaded to their vlog all their video from that day, and like their behind the scenes tactics and stuff. And they're sitting at the finish line after showing their guy who won the pack sprint but didn't catch the breakaway had posted up because he thought he won.
Oh,
which he didn't.
That's pathetic.
And then their race director's like, who would have thought that 4 Masters guys in the P12 field would go solo for a 80K TTT and win it? And he just gets this like total dumbfounded look. We're like, first of all, it was much farther than 80Ks. It was like 90 miles. And apparently you didn't think that because you got schooled, bro.
But imagine you're a pro, so you get to go to a training camp, you get to see your mates, you get to have ice cream for dessert, and then they join some hobo race and they just take off after 10 miles. That's not nice.
Yeah, I mean, none of the other teams locally were chasing because they all had somebody in the break that was, and it was like, if they would have picked their best rider to get into the break, it was that guy. So they were all like, even if I wanted to chase these guys down, I couldn't because I'm their domestique. So good luck to Evolo. They just didn't know. Had no idea who the locals were.
There's a discussion over here that the pros are having too many training camps because a lot of the riders who actually had to leave the Tour de France with injury didn't really race that much in the spring season. And maybe they just didn't have the experience because they went on too many training camps.
Charlie says one of his state champs wins was from a early breakaway. That's my MO. My one current state championship. Well, I guess unless we count my Merck's time trial state championship, where I was competing against 2 other people. The road race championship was from a 30-mile breakaway solo.
Yeah, solo is tough, but if you get away in a group, it can actually be okay.
Well, and the reason they even let me go is because at that race, they didn't know who I was. I was from the other side of the state. They didn't know me, and they're like, who is this chump? Let him go. Famous last words.
I think my bearings have just fallen apart on my rollers. I won't be sprinting.
Uh-oh. You've lost your bearings?
Yeah.
That happens at old age. Ha!
You should get a GPS angle thing. Next time, get Swedish bearings.
Okay.
Nice. Charlie, speaking of the family being there for races, I used to do this weeknight race series back in Spokane, and there was a few races that I won, and my kids, I would like, said, hey, let's go get ice cream because I won, and then I didn't win. Well, the ice cream tradition continued. What? We don't get ice cream? Dad didn't win? I was like, well, I think we should keep the ice cream tradition because I can guarantee you I won't win all the time. But I'd love to go to ice cream with the family. How long was each lap, Charlie? 6 laps solo with only a 21-second gap. That's 21 seconds at the finish, I'm guessing. It might have ballooned out larger during the race.
Well, I'm glad that didn't happen on the rollers during the workout.
What's up, Dave?
Hey guys.
Hey, Ben. Welcome to the live stream. Andy's got some roller issues. He lost his bearings in his old age, we could say.
I was just winding up for the sprint and
Lost your bearings.
one of the bearings gave up on the front drum. Oh, come on. Switch views, there we go.
Charlie, have you gone back and looked at your what are they? It's the on Strava. There's a feature to see how far apart you were from people. It's like in the flyby view. I have time gaps. Although they've crippled it a bit because it's off by default and people have to opt in. But then maybe if somebody in the pack opted into that, it'll be interesting to see how your gap fluctuated over time. Ben says, keep rollering along.
I'll try and figure out where I can get a bearing today now.
Bearings are us.
Be right back. Gonna get my socket set.
Charlie, it's possible to have friends that don't ride bikes, or you're just outside of racing. Like he still rides bikes. Yeah, that's probably it. Because it's, I mean, you can actually have friends that don't ride bikes. That seems so counterintuitive. Oh, Ben picked up a spare bike, only for use to get to and from work, not for Zwift use. Okay. Hey. More bikes is always a good thing, especially when it makes your life easier. So you don't have to, what did they say? You don't have to swap back and forth in the trainer, etc. Got it, Charlie. Yeah. Okay, so it was a technical course. Did my breaker recover? No, Jerry, I'm still without power. You have no power.
And your messaging doesn't work.
Yeah, messaging doesn't work. Camera doesn't work. Internet doesn't work. Just, I'm in the dark ages. No, the breaker's fixed, obviously. That's why you can see me.
Well, you had some kind of post on Strava from a Missouri hotel, so I think he's on.
Oh, you know what? They're heading to
Colorado.
Colorado. Ah, nice, man. You'll be around for the dad joke show on Thursday. Yeah. Sometimes, Charlie, one other person in the race might have turned it back on, another nerd, but not always. Yep. Talking about the flyby feature that Strava made off by default. You didn't replace it with a solid piece of steel, Jerry? Of course I didn't. My gosh. Oh yeah.
It's called a circuit breaker, so it sounds like it was doing what it's supposed to do, circuit breaking.
Yeah, it was breaking the circuit, but not under the correct conditions.
I have like a 16 amp fuse that was milled out of a solid Peter missile that was given to my friends at the radio club in Denmark.
Nice.
The high power amplifiers are really a messy thing because they charge up the capacitors when you turn it on, so it has a peak, and to find fuses that will accept that peak is very difficult.
Getting old sucks. I can't read the number on this bearing.
Then measure it up. It's easy and search the internet.
Yeah.
And consider buying a spare one if you're ordering anyway.
Oh no, I'm buying 6.
Or get a cartridge.
Yeah.
1614. All right, I've got the bearing number now.
You need ceramic bearings at $70 a piece, of course.
Yeah, I think I can manage without ceramic bearings.
Wow. Charlie was saying that the so was that the Masters race that you won in the breakaway from Charlie? P12 was where you DNF'd?
31 miles an hour is pretty fast.
Yeah, good luck staying away in a breakaway on that race. Not happening. You think?
Hey Justin, you want to send me links for bearings?
Mm-hmm. Saw that one coming. Well, yes, Cat 5s know not to do that, Charlie, but Cat 5s aren't just worker bees. That's why you get dudes going bonkers at the beginning of the race, because they know they'll have no chance if it stays to the final, if it's a group in the end. So their only hope is to get away and hope that the main pack lets them go.
I mean, I know I'm going to be dropped at lap 5, so if I want to shine, I have lap 1, 2, 3, and 4 to do it.
Bingo. Or they're just trying to make other people chase them down so their teammates can sit in. That too. Instagram efforts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But it is true that P12 fields generally go nuts from the beginning. Strategically. Ben says, did somebody say links? Why is that, Andy? Do you have bad BO? LYNX. Is that a brand of deodorant?
LYNX would be.
Yeah, that's how he spelled it. LYNX.
Let's see if Fast and all have got any in. Well, I could buy them for $8.99 a piece, or I could buy a case of 700 for $1,904.
Hey, that price per unit, that's amazing.
It is. It's quarter of the price of buying them one off. But I think it'll take me quite a while to use 700 of them.
He's gonna be going to all the local bike races, setting up a table, trying to sell bearings. Yeah. Ben's dogs say, I need to pedal harder. I assume those are your dogs or your kids. I forget. Can't remember the names. Dez and Dylan.
Des and Dylan, that's his dogs.
You check eBay? Asked Charlie. Andy?
Well, I want them sooner than that. I need to be able to ride tomorrow, so Fastenal will have them on their website. I'm just finding out if the store up in about 10 miles from me has got any in.
Got it. Well, Ben, tell your dogs it's a recovery day for me, okay? And I will not race up this KOM, even though Megan's trying to goad us into it. Lies, says Jerry. Yeah, just because I said I wasn't going to sprint on the Happy 100K yesterday and then I won the sprint, that's irrelevant information, Jerry. No, I'm not going for the KOM.
It looked like somebody had won it in a fraction of the time that you spent doing 100K.
Yeah, 36 seconds.
Yeah, that's
Impressive.
good.
I think he did like 1,000 watts a kilo. I think he would run into would that have been faster than the speed of sound? 100 kilometers in 36 seconds. And that seems like it's faster than the speed of sound.
Difficult to capture that.
All right, we're doing some math. Googling speed of
Still sounded like
sound.
300 meters per second.
768 miles an hour.
343 meters per second. 343 times 36 means he would have covered 12.3K in 36 seconds at the speed of sound. So he was going about Mach 10. Mach 8 to
Somebody
Mach
was
10.
Richard Branson mounting a sensor on his spaceship or something. Over here, farm supply stores are the best places to find bearings. Farmers use a lot of bearings for some reason.
Yeah, I've just had a look in Fleet Farm, but they don't have any. And I know someone else who's got another set of drums just the same as these, so I might have to borrow one of those if I can't get a set of bearings today.
I know somebody who has a set of drums. Oh, wait. Bet Flo will want to take the take the stream for their RGT event. Looks like they're over in that channel.
Yeah. Yep.
Come on, come on.
Yeah, we've got
34th, 36th. It's terrible.
All right, thank you everybody for joining us on the stream this morning. We've got another ride in the wings waiting to take the stream. So we'll end this here. If I can find some bearings for tomorrow, Jerry and I will be back with our workout in the morning. But we'll be live again very shortly with RGT. So take care, everyone. Catch you soon. Bye for now.